Thank you very much, Josh. And this is the last picture of me you're going to see today.
I think you aged a little.
I need to send it back to airbrushing. And as we've talked about, we do nonprofit joint ventures. Why do we do that? We are the only company out there that has nonprofit joint ventures, and we have successful nonprofit joint ventures. Why do we do that? We do it because we think it brings a richer experience to us in the community as being a part of the community. You know, we can't overemphasize this enough as our view, but this is a major community asset. I mean, this is like the police department, the fire department. It is critical to the community's future growth. And by having partnerships, we find that it adds to the richness of the opportunities in developing that facility to achieve what's necessary in the community. So it's our interest in having as much involvement as possible in defining the strategic outlook for the facility, which is why we have also the advisory boards, et cetera, that Josh talked about, and the physician leadership groups, which are in addition to the other physician committees that are essential to that process. Existing partnerships that we have out there include our Lake Norman, our Shands relationship. I'll talk a little bit about that in just a minute. And we've got 3 more that are in process kind of right now. But, you know, we don't have to partner on the basis of participation in the hospital either. You guys have a tremendous piece of property here. Richard has put together a very nice campus. There's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of future potential for developing those for healthcare needs, which I think one of the things that you guys have an interest in is long-term care. And as the COE grows, I'm sure that that's something that's going to be needed. I know I plan on having my long-term care in Florida. Our most the recently announced was our Shands relationship, and which is a tremendous opportunity for us. It's a 60-40 relationship. The facilities, and one thing about our company is that you're not going to find health management doesn't appear on any of our materials. Doesn't, you know, we often say we don't want to be the Holiday Inn of hospitals. And the reality is that you know, we're not sitting down in Naples exporting a philosophy. That's not what it's about. What we want is the local leadership to run the facility, and our role is to enable America's best local health care by supplying the resources that are necessary to achieve that. And that includes IT, capital, and other things like that, and people as needed. But it's about the community. It's not about health management. So we typically, sometimes the previous owners want to change the name for various reasons, and so we'll change the name, but you won't find health management in the name. Shands did a very extensive background check on us, and we weren't even aware of it. They evidently made a decision that they wanted to partner. And so they went about the process of evaluating the potential partners that they saw. And this included contacting leadership in our communities, governmental and otherwise, physicians in the community, et cetera, as a part of their due diligence process, all of which, as I said, we were unaware of. But the thing is, with a 33-year track record, you know, history, okay, that if there was if there were negatives out there, and you know, I'm not saying we haven't ever stubbed our toe, we have, but it's been infrequent. It's been very rare, because what we intend is we intend to do what we say we're going to do when we enter into a relationship with the community. And after they completed that, they came to us. Now, they selected us. One of the reasons that they selected us to evaluate is that we are a recognized expert in running community hospitals. We're very, very good at it. And the majority of our facilities are exactly that, community hospitals. So the majority of our hospitals, unlike a lot of other companies out there, we've primarily acquired community facilities. We've not gone out and bought what were part of other proprietary healthcare companies, and kind of a new mishmash of the same facilities. The vast majority of ours are, in fact, you can count on one hand the number that we actually have bought from other companies, have been community hospitals. It's where we want to be. It's the business that we like. We have statewide relationships, which will be very beneficial here because obviously with the amount of market penetration that we have, it's in the best interest of managed care companies to deal with this fairly. And we have those kinds of relationships with them, which assures an appropriate return for the investment. St. Cloud's, another one here, not far. I'm sure you're familiar with the area where we have an existing relationship with Orlando Regional Medical Center. They have told us that since we entered into this relationship, that their participation in the facility at 20% is far more valuable than their 100% ever was. Again, that's a reflection of the expertise that we can bring to running that type of hospital, a community facility. And we've done quite a bit there. We've recruited new physicians, again, 20 new physicians in concert with the existing medical staff, building on the expertise that's there in order to provide more opportunities to meet community health care needs. We've expanded services, part of our market service development. We've done renovations in the ER to implement our ER initiative. We need the right kind of efficiencies present in the layout of the ER to achieve a shorter period of time that people spend in the ER. Because, you know, when it comes to the ER, it's mom that's typically going to the ER because kids, I mean, my kids are grown now, fortunately, but they only get sick after 5 o'clock, okay? They go fine all day long, and then you got to go to the ER, you know, and if we can treat and have mom home by, 7:30 or 8 o'clock as opposed to 11 o'clock, and then she's probably going to choose us for a place to come for her emergency services. And that's what we want to do. And as you, I'm sure, are well aware, it's mom that makes the decisions about health care in the household. This just shows a little more about the growth that we've experienced. Those are the last 4 years and this year to date on a projection basis. So the it shows that our methodologies that we have for internally growing business work. This is a suggestion for you on how we would see this transaction. There's $65 million, which reflects your existing working cash and investments less the current liabilities. We would collect the accounts receivable for you, so that would start you off with $91 million. We would pay an additional $80 million as a part of it. That would give you a gross proceeds there of $171 million. I think your debt's around 61. We're looking at July financials. So that would leave $110 million available to the foundation. And if you chose to invest, we typically recommend a 20% investment. But I should say that, we have them that range from, up to the 60-40 deal and lower. So that's a decision for you to make. Excuse me?
Or not at all.
Or not at all. Absolutely. That's just your choice. If you would desire that, we offer it as an alternative to give you more opportunity in making your decision process for an important decision process on how you will resolve your strategic plan. What would happen is we would establish a tax-paying Florida company, and the district would start off with the $110 million that we just showed you. You would retain your working capital and other assets, and we will collect the working capital for you for a small fee as part of the process, just our cost basically of getting it done. Then if you'd like to acquire 20% ownership, that's available to you, and then the cash flows will be subsequently split 80-20. And then that leaves you with your debt obligation resolved, and you've got liquid resources to resolve your pension liabilities. And there'll be a lot of alternatives for that. I'm sure you'd get financial advice in that regard. We would be paying an annual ad valorem and property taxes here in the community. We will retain your existing charity care policies. I'll have to tell you that it's our experience is typically our charity care policies are more lenient, just as a matter of fact of what we've observed in most transactions. I don't know about here, but typically they are. We will commit to a capital spending of a minimum of $35 million over 5 years. We typically spend about 5%, between 4 and 5% of net revenue as a company. Last year we expended $250 million, or that's what we'll be expending in 2010, in continuing capital investment in our existing facilities. That doesn't include acquisitions. That's just what we've invested to improve services in the communities that we serve. And we'll be assured that we comply with all legal requirements. For governance, the Board of Directors oversees capital contributions. If that was the choice that you made, these would be the type of things that you would do if you were a partner with us. And if not, then you would be participating with us in our advisory board, which has real duties, as Josh discussed. So we're back to why we think we're the best choice. We have a proven track record. I mean, we've got a 33-year track record, so we can be checked out. And we think that the proof is there for the reliability of our relationship with our communities. We are a leader in quality. We intend to lead the industry. We've got a lot of experience in working with communities, and lastly, we bring to the table a integrated national system which can benefit through economies of scale in many ways to the community. And you know, typically, for instance, one of the ways that that's really borne out is in IT cost. We are self-developed the majority of our processing systems, and that's usually a lot less expensive than buying in, and because they have to make money too on their product. So we already have a very low cost. In fact, we know we're the lowest cost IT in the country for hospital systems, and those of course pass along as economies of scale to all of our facilities. So there's significant savings there. We're also equity partners in the Health Trust Purchasing Organization, and that typically will generate up to 30% savings in a community hospital over their existing supply cost. So with that, I'll stop, and because we want to give you guys an opportunity to ask questions, and I think we're right on time, aren't we, Richard? Okay. Well, I'm an accountant. Okay. I mean, you can take the boy out of the country, you know, but but anyway, we open it to you for any further questions you might have.